We're going to get Joe Perry in here from Aerosmith fame. He's got a new CD out called Shaking My Cage.
That's Joe Perry, all right.
Wow, it looks just like him.
How you doing, man?
What's up, Joe?
Sorry I'm late for the meeting.
It is kind of like a meeting in here.
It is.
This is really not a radio show anymore.
Everybody has to qualify, right?
We like a crowded studio for some reason.
How you guys doing?
Always ended up that way.
What's up, Joe?
Good.
Yeah.
I'll give you the players: Opie, Anthony, Jim Norton, Stephen Lynch, and Rod.
What's up?
Rod.
And Rod. We don't even know what Rod does, but he's here. Just hanging out, drinking beers.
Well,
They started at like, 8 in the morning?
What are you doing in New York?
a little of everything.
Yeah. Little promo stuff.
Everything. We've been going for 2 weeks now. Ever since we played Harper's Ferry in Boston, that kind of started things off, and we haven't stopped since.
Really?
But today's the last day, so you guys are getting the benefit of me
That's it.
doing 2,000 interviews. So,
I was going to say,
so-
we're getting the...
We have the
I
shot.
just want to go home,
Yeah.
Joe Perry.
no, actually,
Shot
I think
Joe
we're
Perry.
gonna. I think we may stay an extra day to go to Saturday Night Live, though.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah?
Topping it off because Will Ferrell's there and Queens of the Stone Age are playing. It's
And
a
maybe-
great show.
Are you going to be playing, maybe? Give us an exclusive?
When? Where? Here?
SNL?
No, I don't think so.
You never
It's
know,
too-
though, with those guys over there.
No, you don't. I mean, we may, if you're there, sometimes they drag you in, but, we're really just thinking about going and watch the show.
Yeah. One of the best days Anthony and I ever had, we had all you guys in when we were doing our Boston show.
Oh, yeah.
We had the whole band in. That was like one of the highlights of our career.
Yeah, before Menino threw us out of
Oh, yeah. Well,
Massachusetts.
and then we had a little problem, and then we had to leave.
Told us to
Oh,
leave,
wow.
never return again. We've been told that a couple of times, though. So,
Well, how is that? Like, did you guys have to, move, like your families and stuff, too? I mean, did
well,
it
thank
get bad,
God,
like, in the
we
neighborhood?
had no families or anything. We were
Yeah.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
our own family, and
Yeah.
we had to leave though. We had to
Yeah.
get out of town and move back to New York, and
Got
we
it.
were just kind of getting used to the whole thing. I think Opie adapted to Boston better than I did.
Yeah.
I was kind of like always a fish out of water up there. I don't know how you feel. Do you like New York or?
I love New York.
Yeah?
Oh, we love it here. It's,
Some people from Boston come down to New York, not too adaptable. You know what I mean?
no, we love it here. Ever since we first came here, about a century ago to get our first record deal, I've always loved it here. The energy's incredible, and I love every chance we get to come down. It just seems like we're always working, so I don't get a chance to get out much, but
Right.
I guess that keeps it tantalizing,
Yeah, you guys, man, you really are a very hard-working band. You're out all the time. When you guys, you obviously went through your peaks and valleys as far as especially band popularity went. You had that dry spell, and then the whole resurgence in the '80s. Did you think, well into halfway through the 2000s here, that you'd still be riding that wave?
No. I think we were lucky enough to still have hair like in the 80s. I think that the fact that we made it when we were young enough in the 70s and managed to stay alive through that period when a lot of people didn't, unfortunately, and be able to come back when MTV started and we were just still had enough. We could come in on that kind of that vibe, and do some good videos and the whole thing. We managed to sneak in there, and for a lot of people, Permanent Vacation's our first record,
Yeah.
So we basically had a second chance, and that kind of carried us through, and because we've always had our fans, from Boston in the '70s and all, in Detroit and stuff, and.
But do you find some of those people? Because I know some of those people would say, and it's a hard thing when you're a band that had popularity years ago, and then of course you have this resurgence that's sustained, and you become very commercially viable. A lot of people use the sellout. They're not the same. These motherfuckers.
So many different. You get so many different people and so many different angles. You just can't keep up anymore because you get the guitar kids that love the metal and love the guitar playing, all the way to the jocks that loved Angel. You know what I mean? You get such a spread. I can't figure it out anymore.
That's a great way. That's a great way to look at
I'm
it.
just glad everybody likes the music when they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what happens with some of the hardcore guys, though. They see like a soccer mom, a fan of the song from Armageddon,
Yeah.
and they go crazy like these guys are sellouts. And
Yeah, I mean, I see some of the emails, some guys whining because Aerosmith hasn't had guitars for the last 20 years. You know what I mean? But
are you
then we
doing?
come out with a record like like honking on Bobo, you know, just to prove that we're, you know, still doing that. And,
that was a great record, by the way. I had that one in my iPod.
Do you take it? Do you take those things into consideration and kind of adjust what you do based on something?
Well, you guys must do the same thing. I mean, you got fans talking to you.
Fuck our fans, they're assholes.
Yeah, but, you know, and they all love it, and they come back and they tell you we love your show, or you don't. You said this, and it all registers. You know what I mean? Whether it's like one fan,
sometimes, but you know, sometimes you read message boards and other things. That's kind of what the internet has kind of ruined things like that, because you do read them and you like saying, I don't pay much attention to them, and then that one just pokes you sometimes. You're like, you son of a
exactly, and you remember it. You know what I mean? It hangs with you, and sometimes it's just that one person. Sometimes it's, you know, or you think about the, you know, you look at your ratings and you go, well, we're doing this good, we're not doing that good. You know, and it's the same thing. We go to the shows and we, you know, in the live venue where it really counts, and the fans get off on it and have a good time, and that's really where it matters. And then, you know, there's always the one or two people, like you said, that come on the board there and you know, and say, how could you do that? How could you play that solo there? And you know, and it's like, okay, another person heard from. You know.
There you go, chalk it up. But you don't adjust what you do based on.
Well, a little bit. I mean, I think probably the biggest thing is when we do the set list up. You know what I mean?
Really.
And like a fan will say something at a meet and greet or something like that, and have a request for some song that maybe we've rehearsed, and we can actually put it in the set. So that's pretty much.
That's probably a hard part of having such a huge repertoire like you guys have over the years. Is you can't include everything in on any live show.
Well, we usually rehearse about 40 songs, you know, at the start of a tour, and then we end up playing about 25 of those over the course of the tour.
That's pretty cool.
A lot of songs to have.
We don't practice Dream On though.
No,
you know, we wait till we get on the stage and do that one.
And just let it fly.
Yeah,
that is cool. Big Sox fan.
You know, I'm really happy to see, you know, the whole thing that's
finally
been
over
happening in Boston, and it's doing great. But no, I don't really follow sports much, you know.
Thank God, one guy
from Boston that's not talking about the Pats and the Sox.
The second
I mean,
coming.
I love watching and seeing them win and the whole thing. And the Pats, of course, you know what they're doing. You know, I went to a bunch of the games, and you know, I love it. I love the energy around it, but I'm really not, you know, I don't really follow it very much.
Anyone else in the band that just annoyed you with their Sox talk, or
nah?
Most of these guys.
No, nobody's like a real. You know, I think Steven might be a little bit more into it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
They just don't like sports.
You guys, obviously, you know, it appears you're enjoying the hell out of yourselves when you're playing up there. How do
I mean, you know,
are there other, you know, because I know any band has issues or problems, especially even earlier on. You know, feeling each other out, and then midway through, maybe with drug problems, things like that. But then just keeping it together, because did you see the Metallica movie?
I heard about it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I have seen the movie in a metaphorical sense.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know,
I'm sure.
But
so that Spinal Tap, any other movie that.
Well, Spinal Tap says it all. We were just talking about that the other day. We love that movie. I mean, the kids watch it. We all sit around and love it because it's. I mean, it's us. You know, everything that goes on in that movie has happened. I mean, everything. From the you know the bad album covers done by you know makeup girlfriends. I mean, everything, you name it, we've done it, and it's so I love that movie.
Do you find there's things that you guys as a band have to deal with now that maybe you didn't earlier, or you're just happy to be there?
Well, you know, some of the bumps are still there. I mean, obviously, I mean, we're still the same people we were when we were 18. I mean, you don't change much as far as, you know, likes and dislikes. Is how you deal with it. And a lot of the stuff we don't take home anymore. You know, we kind of went through that whole thing like Metallica did, you know, 15 years ago, and sorted a lot of that stuff out. And you know, we still have our attitudes and like I said, ups and downs, but we just don't take it home.
You don't need a band therapist?
Not anymore.
That was the craziest thing.
We all could be licensed, I'm sure.
Yeah.
To see a therapist involved with Metallica was the strangest thing.
Yeah.
As far
I
as
was
that
a little
movie went.
surprised. I figured they would have, you know, because of everything they've been through up to that point. I figured that I was a little surprised to see that they went through that. But you know, I guess everybody has to do whatever they have to do in their time. You know.
Sometimes it's hard to get so many creative people in one spot for so long, also, and have them work together without blowing up at each other. And I think the longer you're in it, the more you see it as kind of a business, and instead of just pure art that happened to make money.
Yeah, man, as soon as you start trading your art for money, you know, it's a setup for catastrophe. So, you know, and you learn how to balance it out. You know what I mean? And everything from like what songs you pick to play to just everything. So, and I think that rock and roll in itself is just, it's all about getting out on stage and playing louder than the next guy. I mean, that's it was all about rebellion in the 60s, you know, and the whole thing. So naturally, if you get 5 guys that want to be louder than anybody else, that's gonna carry over into your band. I mean, I don't know of any band that doesn't have ups and downs and, you know, those kind of things, and they just sort it out, or they don't.
When do you guys think you'll call it quits?
I don't know.
Like, is there something in your mind where, you know, when it's not fun anymore? Or
probably that. You know, I think that
I asked that because we went to the Rolling Stones press conference 2 days ago.
Yeah,
and they look like they're still having a good time doing it.
That's it. I think as long as we're having fun and the fans are having fun hearing it, that's when we'll keep doing it. I think that once people start getting bored and start phoning it in, we're gonna hang it up.
Dude, one of the biggest things you guys did, I thought, like, was when you and Run DMC did Walk This Way. It was just mammoth, and it like fused 2 like forms of music, which you really did not see being done. Like, how did that come? Whose idea was that? Was that you guys, or was that them?
That was actually Rick Rubin, the producer. You know, and it was. I mean, I was, you know, just hearing this rap thing going on, and you know, one of my kids was playing it, booming out of his bedroom, and I thought it was really cool. To me, it sounded like
do you know what
blues.
Rap song it was? That
it was
one
of the Run DMC songs.
Okay.
You know?
Rockbox.
And it was off that record, and
because it sounds so normal today, but back then to take rock and rap, what kind of drugs are you on that you're coming up with this
just
idea?
Starting too. I mean, it was just this new kind of thing, and to me, it sounded like blues, just a natural extension of the blues, because it was all about like the street corner and reality and real basic, you know, anybody can do it kind of thing. You know, I mean, blues is the same thing. I mean, it's just its basic element is guy just beating on the guitar and just, you know, spilling his guts, and that's kind of what rap is. And so I mean, obviously we've seen it morph into all kinds of things, but
that was
a
big crossover though, right there.
Yeah,
that was like a milestone
and a huge risk, obviously, because you know, it could have been just an awful version.
Well,
but I mean, it wasn't. You know, it's
fun.
But I mean,
that was all. It was
but
just one of those.
Did you think
things,
of the risk,
you know?
the risk factor at the time, or
not at
really?
all.
Right?
No, it just seemed
Just
like a
went with
natural thing to me. It seemed like I said, to my ears, it felt like a natural extension of the blues. So when they asked us to come in and do it, it just felt like, why not? Let's try it out, you know. And we really didn't know what it was going to come out like. And we walked in the studio. It was a studio down here. I think it was in the Bronx, and they actually they didn't know what they were going to do. I mean, they didn't have any of the lyrics written out. I mean, the story's been told, but you know, they kind of sat in the room in the corner with Steven and jotted down what they thought it was, and he said, "Oh, that's fine." And and we didn't know what the music was going to be. All they wanted was really the drum beat, you know, and the guitar riff, and that was it. But we felt like after it went by that it needed some bass, and I said, well, anybody got a bass? And there were these kids hanging around in the studio with us, and it was the Beastie Boys. And one of them said, I got a bass at my apartment, I'll go get it. So we went around the corner and got it and came back, and I put the bass down, and that was it. We really didn't know what it was going to be. And I know that even talking to Rick, they weren't even sure they were going to put on the record, you know, at one point. And it was kind of like the last thing they were doing for the record. So
that's huge.
It ended up, you know, and the video was really the thing that really, you know, got everybody. And because again, we didn't really know what that was going to be.
That wall was a little flimsy, though.
Well, now with CG, you know, it could have been done better. You know, we can always go back and redo it. You know,
people had never seen those two things together, and it was just like when you're looking at it on the surface, you're like, "What? This is never gonna fucking work." You guys and Run DMC, and it was phenomenal. Man.
Yeah,
well, we got music.
I still love cranking out that song, man.
Huh? Yeah, we got surprisingly few letters about it. You know what I mean? There were a few people that were, "How could you do that?" kind of thing, and you know, I don't know if
the rock rap separation was pretty huge. You know,
but man, it worked, and especially in Europe. I mean, we were surprised. We went back there, and it was it was the first time a lot of people had heard of us there, you know, and it was great for us here, and it was great for music all around. So I just thank Rick for having that bolt of lightning, you know.
Do you think that helped open the door for Ozzy singing "Staying Alive"?
I would have to say.
The band's always given you the latitude to do your solo stuff. that has to help as far as I think the longevity of the band also, giving you the ability to go out and do your own thing.
Yeah, well, you know, I've since the band got back together, I've a lot of respect for the miracle of what we have. You know, again, you know, look at the Metallica thing. You see what people go through. And I've always been able to put a song or two on an Aerosmith record, and it's always it's been enough. But this time, I think that I had so much stuff just kind of piling up in the closet. I really felt like I had to get rid of it, because you know, every time you walk into the room to write, you know, if you got all these songs you really believe in and they're not getting used, it's not that it was all that, but there was a couple of riffs, a few songs that also they just, some of them that you hear on my new solo record, I just don't hear them on an Aerosmith record. You know what I mean?
Really?
There's a couple of things on there that you know, they're really personal to me, and I just, you know, that's why I call it a solo record. So
you do Crystal Ship by the Doors on the new CD.
yeah, I gave that a try.
That's pretty cool.
Thanks.
Isn't it amazing that you could be in such a successful band and still enjoy doing a cover tune or two every so often? Right?
Well, you know, it's there's so many things, so many cover songs you want to do. I mean, for every song on there, I've got like 5 that I haven't put out, and the band covers stuff. When we rehearse, we like to do that. There's so many great songs. It's almost like that's why we did the Honkin' on Bobo record. There's so many cool tunes, you know, and you just want to throw down. So it's a lot of fun to do that.
When you say you can't picture some of these songs, Aerosmith doing it, is it like an issue where you would go into the studio and you couldn't picture yourself really saying to these guys, I want it like this, this is how I want it played, this is how I want this played?
It's, you know, we're kind of past that. It's almost like I have so much, you know, feeling of ownership for some of these lyrics. It's kind of like I want to be the one to interpret them. You know what I mean? If Steven came up to me and said, I still want to do, you know, take a shot at Hold On Me, I would say no problem, you know, because I've already done it. I've already put it out, you know, and people have heard it, you know, the way I want it heard. So I have no problem with that. And if they did come up to me and say, you want to play one of these live, that would be great. But I'm certainly not going to say, we got to play this stuff next tour, you know.
Are you touring by yourself with this album?
Actually, I just did a couple of shows. I did a show at Webster Hall and a show at Harper's Ferry in Allston and in Boston, and I think that's going to be it. We were talking about going to the West Coast, but I don't know if the way the dates are lining up, if it's really going to happen.
You ever have a song that you like I know in a band it's got to be tough because there's 4 or 5 guys working on one concept, where you were overridden, even like where they did what they wanted to, and like you'll still hear it today and go, motherfucker, I know that's not the way that should have been.
The compromise.
It's you work through that stuff. I mean, that's what a band is. In the end, it always seems to work out for the greater good. There are certainly things I look back at now that I'm amazed that we've let go, you know, all of us even, you know. But sometimes there's stuff that I'll sit back and I go, I should have put my foot down more about, and I'm sure that the other guys feel the same way. But that's what a band is, and like I said, in the end, the strength of all the guys together working it is really what it's about. Like, you know, I mean, when you hear the Stones play, you know, you hear 40 years of playing there. You know what I mean? There's nothing like it when they lock up, you know.
All right, well, the phones have exploded here. Let's say hi to Artie in Philly. Artie, what's up?
Argy,
what's up?
what's going on, guys?
Artie.
Joe, huge fan of Aerosmith. Question for you: how come you guys never play Angel? Man, I've seen you guys like 10 times. It's one of my favorite songs. I look at all the set lists in the cities. You never play Angel.
Yep, you're right. Well, you know what, and we know that the fans like it, and a lot of fans love it, and we request it, and for some reason it always slips through the cracks. But you know what? Maybe this tour will do it. John, cool. Take a note.
Cool.
But thanks for the vote, you know.
That song was kind of a hit, you know.
Kind of. You know, it was.
How could it just slip the mind of the band?
You know, well, there's Crazy Crying Amazing. Yeah. You know, there's
It must be nice to just go, oh yeah, that Angel song.
You know, there are certain songs that fit in certain slots, you know, and some of the ballads, it's almost like you have to make a decision between the between like an Angel or a Dream On or that kind of thing. And I know that Steven really loves. We all love doing Dream On. The fans love that. So, but I know Angel's one that should be on the list more often than it is.
All right, let's go to North Carolina. Eric, what's up?
Hey, man. Hey, Joe. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, great. I got two quick questions.
Sure.
First one is, how do you get that incredible, plucky, twangy tone like on the Janie's Got a Gun solo? What is that guitar that you do that with?
That's actually a, I don't know if you're, obviously you're a guitar player. I use a guitar with a piezoelectric pickup in it. That, one of those ones that kind of sounds like an acoustic guitar, but you can plug it in.
Is it like a Parker Fly guitar?
Actually, no. This was it's a Gibson Chet Atkins model thing. It looks like an acoustic guitar, but it's actually kind of skinny.
Yeah.
But you can get the same effect with a Parker Fly because they have that kind of piezo pickup. And I used a little Marshall practice amp, one of those 15-watt transistor cheapo, turned all the way up to 10.
That's just the coolest tone, man. I love that.
Thanks a lot.
The other question is, how cool is it to be like best friends with Jimmy Page? And is Jimmy Page like a really cool guy or what?
He is a really cool guy. It's an amazing thing to be.
No, he's an ass.
To sit in the room because I mean it's kind of funny because I've known him for years now. I've been fortunate enough to run into him, and we've hung out, and I've been down to his house, and we sit around and we talk about the kids and family and all that, and there are a lot of like Led Zeppelin questions that I've never asked him, and I'm always thinking about this like later on, just like all that stuff, because it's more like day to day, like how do you like your curry, whatever, and I did an interview with him last year for Guitar Player, and we were actually able to talk about guitar stuff, and it was really cool to sit there and ask him stuff, like questions like, how did you get that sound? And he said, well, I don't really remember.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that.
Hey, did you go to Aleister Crowley's house? Does he still have that?
I think he still has it. Yeah, we didn't go there though.
You ever get starstruck ever? I mean, because to me, I can't even imagine hanging out with you or like, you. I mean, let's start with you. But I mean, Jimmy Page. It's like what?
Oh,
you just get to hang with Jimmy Page. That's got to be just like kind of trippy at times.
Well, it's one of those things you kind of pinch yourself because everybody's just we're all people. You know what I mean? And you get in the room, everybody's got the same.
But there wasn't one
thing.
person where you met him and went, "Oh wow, that's like De Niro or that's whoever."
One time I was in Hawaii and
Greg Brady, right?
No. And the governor was there with his family, and he likes to smoke cigars, and I like to smoke cigars, and we went down, and it was about 8 o'clock at night, and he got in the hot tub, and he's a really nice guy. I mean, he'll talk to anybody, and I knew him from doing from Walk This Way, being in one of the movies, so I kind of wanted to talk to him. I'm a big fan, and so I'm sitting there talking to him, and I'm in the hot tub. We're there, and I had this huge Cuban, and I hadn't been smoking many cigars, and I don't know if you know, but when you smoke one of those huge Cubans, man, there's so much nicotine. It just
you get pretty messed
you're
up.
Dosed, man.
Yeah.
And I smoked the whole thing down to a stub, and then when I got up, I almost threw up because I was like so into like talking to him, I didn't realize how much I was smoking. Anyway, it was
big
fun.
Aerosmith fan, Arnold.
He was, he knows the band.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool to know that he knows about Aerosmith.
We got to back time the end of the show because we want to end with Joe Perry's latest song here. Someone figured that out. Travis from Oklahoma City.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hey Spunky.
Hi, Travis.
Joe Perry, I got to tell you, man, you have been such an influence on my life. I've been to almost 30 of your shows, 29.
Wow.
I went to 7 of the 9 Lives tour, and I didn't get to see Honkin' on Bobo, but I did get the DVD. I got to tell you, man, thanks for sticking it out. I know you guys have been through a lot of shit and had some pretty bad managers and some pretty rough times, but I got to tell you, thanks very much for sticking it out because you guys have no idea how much you mean to your fans.
Well, thanks. It's early in the day, but that's about the best thing I could have heard today.
Oh, cool.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
What's the latest on the band? Like new record, touring?
Yeah, we have a live record that's coming out
cool.
sometime this fall. It's actually taken from one show, so it's kind of cool. It's got a couple of deep cuts on it, and
that's one great thing about you guys is the live show sounds unbelievable. When you go see a band live, you want it to sound good, and you guys have never disappointed. I've been to quite a few Aerosmith shows, and who's the guy doing those high vocals over.
The guy.
Yeah, he plays keyboards.
Yeah. Russ Irwin helps out. He's been on the road with us for, I don't know, Jesus, 8 years now. But, you know, we've had other people back there playing the things, and he trades off with Steven sometimes.
Because I hear sometimes him going on top of Steven's vocal for a high harmony. It's like, holy shit, this guy should have some recognition.
Well, you know, we throw a light on him once in a while. You know, and he's on the record, and he's you know, he and Steven have, you know, they trade off. And,
does he ever grumble like, God damn it, I'm doing that?
Nah, he gets paid plenty.
Yeah, is that it? Good. Shut him up with some cash.
Do I have time for one question? No.
Now, well, go ahead, real fast. We're running out of show, and I want to get the song on.
Monster balls. You went after Metallica in '94 at Woodstock, and you're on tour with Kiss, and you're following Kiss every night. Is there anybody you are fucking afraid to go on after?
No, not at all.
Hell no.
No.
All right.
No, you decide early on that that's not even an issue.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a couple more minutes? All right, cool. We got one more question I want to get to here. Corey from New Jersey, what's up?
Yeah, Joe, what's up? I heard that you go deer hunting with Ted Nugent. I wonder what that's like.
It's great. He's an amazing guy. He is really talented, man. I mean, not only does he rock and play great guitar and everything, but when he's in the woods, he's really in his element. It's an amazing thing to be out there with him.
I can imagine that's probably the one time he's quiet.
Yeah, you're right. You got that right.
You have to be quiet.
You got that right.
We've had him on the show many times, and people don't even know that Anthony and I are here. They think we took the day off.
Yeah.
So that's a good one, Ed.
Head goes off.
Hey, barbecue enthusiast. What's that about? You got your own barbecue sauce now, huh?
Yeah, well, I've had it for a couple of years. It's going on 2 years, and we actually have two different sauces out, and there'll be a couple more coming out.
That's got to be brave to try to come up with a barbecue sauce.
Well, you know, I know what I like. I like barbecue. You know, it kind of fits with the blues thing. You know, it all seems to make sense to me, and it's what I like. It's on my table, and it's the kind of thing I wanted to be able to hand out to people and friends and stuff, and say, because I just love hot sauce. So we managed to put this thing together, and
it's doing pretty well.
Doing okay.
Yeah, it's definitely doing well.
Where you get that?
Yeah, where do you get that?
Well, there's a couple of Stop and Shops that have it up in the Boston area. There's
you just pop in with it and go, hey, could you stock the shelves with this here?
Believe me, it's the food business is worse than the record business. I mean, it's like unbelievable, you know. But you know, why should it be any different?
You got a jockey for shelf space, and all that
stuff.
Right?
But we are at the Hard Rocks all around the world now.
All right,
so.
Like Peter Townsend trying to get salad dressing in as you're going in there.
I know.
Hey,
It's
Pete,
like, come on.
What are you doing? Smack him out of the way and pull his shit off the shelves and put your stuff there.
Well, we want to thank you for stopping by. The new CD's called Joe Perry, right?
Yeah.
We want to play Shaking My Cage to end this, but definitely a pleasure, man. I
Thanks.
appreciate you getting up this early. And
I wrote that after going to a Pats game. I have to tell you, that's
really
after being at one of the playoff games. I was down on the 50-yard line at the kickoff, and it shook my cage so much I had to go home and write that.
Is Tom Brady in the song?
No.
Do you rhyme something with Tom Brady?
Only in spirit. Only in spirit.
All right, you guys, let's hear it for Joe Perry.
Thanks, man.